the reality of my show with the host Motembe Esther, and I'm always so excited to just be here and doing this and having you join us from wherever it is that you are from. One thing about reality of my show is that we are all about educating ourselves. We just talk about issues, we just get open, we just listen to other people and get to learn out from them. And this is just a safe place. It's a place where you can just talk your issues and where you're not going to get judged by anyone or no one is going to actually judge you. So on our today's talk, it's a very exciting one, and it's all about honoring the call, or should I say honoring your purpose and just being obedient. So, honoring the call, it's all about the fact that there's that thing that you feel that you should be doing or that you're called to do, but you're being your own limitation, or you just be like, no, I can't do this because I don't feel like I have everything right in place. I don't have maybe the confidence, I don't have the help and all that. You find yourself always having reasons that hold you back. But on our today's talk, we just want to navigate through it and try to educate ourselves how we should show up in our areas that we are called to perform a certain task, the ministry that we are destined to, to work on and to serve in this world. And most of the time, we are going to really hold ourselves back. Sometimes we always say sky is the limit, but sometimes we are the people and we are the only reasons, and we are the limitation. Actually, we are the one who limits ourselves and think that I can do that, I don't feel light in praise, I don't feel up to task and all that. So we are going to dig into the word of God, actually the bible. It's really an exciting book, and it also helps us to be able to relate to situations and be able to know how to navigate and how to show up in different situations. So in the case of Jeremiah happened to be a very young man when God called him to go and spread some gospel to some people, and inform the people about God's promises and his punishment and the punishment that was going to befall the people. But for him, he was just like, God, I'm so young and all that, excuses. Everybody always has an excuse onto something. When you're being called to do something and when you have to perform a certain task, you just like, but you definitely always find yourself having reasons and having excuses to justify why you didn't do or you didn't perform a certain task. So for Jeremiah, he was just like, he is so young, but God is just like, before you're born, I formed you in your mother's womb before you're born. And so to say that God already knows that He is going to put that task to you, and it's only you who's going to do the job. And the best thing about this whole thing is that if God gives you a certain assignment to undertake, He isn't going to leave you. That's the whole best point, because He promised Jeremiah that after you go out there, even if you go out there, you're not going to be alone. I'm going to rescue you, I'm going to be with you. And he told him, do not be afraid, for I am going to be with you. Do not be afraid, I'm going to rescue you. God gives us so many promises, God gives us so many assurances that no matter the task at hand, He is not going to leave us. He knows that you're going to be afraid and to have that tension and the self-doubt and all that, but we have to know that if God sends you to perform a certain mission, you've got to respect and you've got to obey and you've got to do it. Apart from that, we have Jonah. He gets to be sent to go, preach the gospel. He declines, and we all know what happens. He tries to run away, but on running away, a fish, a big fish happens to swallow him. And after he accepts that he's going to respect and to obey God's call and do what God wanted him to do, then all the chaos just came to a halt. So it's to say, most of the time we will be assigned so many tasks, and you're just like, I don't feel up to this. I don't feel as if I'm confident enough. I don't have what it takes. There are going to be hold-ups and so many reasons as to why I just don't want to do this. But we need to know that if God put something in you, He is not going to leave you all by yourself. That's the promise. I mean, He says it very well. Do not be afraid. He knows that you're going to have that fear, but He assures you that you don't have to be afraid. He's going to be with you, he's going to guide you, he's going to rescue you, and he's going to put words in your mouth that you have to say to those people, and he's going to give you whatever it's needed for you to perform that specific task. And so what do we have to do? It's to be obedient. We are always told obedience is better than sacrifice, and true it is. If it's that calling, if it's that thing, for me, I'll use myself as an example. During this reality of my show, I was just always like, no, I can't do this. But why would I do this? I mean, I haven't talked to people before. Okay, like being on camera and all that, I was always camera conscious, and I'm just like, God, how am I going to go about this? But I'm just the moment I was just like, you want me to do it, I'm going to do it, because I know you're going to guide me all the way. But then I didn't understand all this biblical, background of it. But I was just like, this whole thing is so burning and it's so pleasuring to me. And if I don't obey this, and if I don't do it, it's going to cost my peace. Because each now and then, anytime I happen to be sitting, I'm just like, I find myself talking to imaginary people, and something just tells me, why not take that camera and start recording something and start doing something? Tell people whatever it is that you have to say. For me, I'm just like, but I don't feel as if I have all this kind of exposure and all that, and I don't know how people are going to take it and all that. We are our own limitations most of the time. We have what it takes, but we come with a whole bunch, so many reasons, a box full of excuses, a box full of reasons as to why I can't do this. But God says to us that He got us. He has our back. He's going to rescue us. He's going to walk with us. He's not going to leave us all alone. So it's all to say, respect, obey that calling, obey and honor it. If you feel it so burning, there's that something that just comes into your mind, and each and every time you're alone, whether anytime you're walking, it's the same thing that rings into your head all over again, and you just keep reach to a tendency, and you're just like, no, you know what, I'm not going to do this. No, I doing it all alone isn't so much pressuring, like just coming on camera and putting myself out there and being listened and watched by people. So for me, it was actually it needed a whole lot of shifting, and it all took God's hand, because I was just like, God, if it's your will, I'm going to obey and I'm going to do it. I don't know how, but I'm going to take the right next step. And for me, I started doing recordings, background, like sound recordings, using Anchor and Spotify, and all those really failed me. They didn't go through. I don't know if I didn't know the procedure, how to go about them, but I made sure I really followed up. I had a great follow-up. And apart from that, I had reasons. I was just like, no, being on camera, no. But the moment I just obeyed to it, I gave in to it. Trust me, it's just so peaceful. Just like, I'm going to do it. And every single day, I'm just like, I want to do it. I want to put myself out there to talk to somebody and tell him or her that it's okay to be afraid at times, and it's okay to not know everything, but you're not alone in this. You've got God. He says He's got you. He's going to rescue you. He's going to walk with you. Do not be afraid. He's going to put in the right words to say out there, so you've got nothing to worry. So honoring your call. Sometimes you just be like, but I don't have what it takes and all that. But God wants you. He wants you to just be obedient, to just heed to His call, to just just heed to that calling, that purpose, whatever it is. You're going to know how to navigate through. Don't hold yourself back. Don't limit yourself. Don't be your own limitation. There are so many things that will hold you back in this world, but don't be your own limitation. The moment you just heed to that voice, the moment you just decide, you know what, I'm going to do it, and I'm going to trust that God is going to give me a direction on how to go about it. And once you do that, you're going to have the calmest. You're going to be calm, at peace, knowing that I don't have to do this alone. I've got God to help me out and to work it out, to walk with me each and every part of the way. And that's just the only thing that I need to know. I might not have everything figured out. I might not feel it sometimes, but I will do it afraid. Sometimes you just say, I'll do it afraid. I don't know at what cost, but if I'm sure that I've got God, whatever comes my way, I'm going to face it. And you need to have that mentality too. Honor your call. Show up for it. Just back it up and just know that you're not alone. God got your back. He's going to help you out in everything, and everything is just going to be perfect. With that said and done, I hope that you're going to honor that calling. You're going to be obedient enough and to trust God has your back, and to not limit yourself. Drop the limitations. Stop limiting yourself and start living your life and start living your purpose and start being the best version of yourself and start being the best candidate for the job. Because if it's not you, then who else is going to do that? Till next time, bye.